The next era of human evolution, of the evolution of consciousness, is through human unity. For thousands of years, the consciousness on planet Earth has been trying to upgrade, or in an upgrading process, from third dimensional consciousness into fifth dimensional consciousness. That is the unplugging or the evolving out of separation-based consciousness, lack, fear, competition, greed. These dominant paradigms, security, self-preservation, that anchor us very much in the reality we've grown up in, into the reality that is anchored in joy, of purpose, of freedom, of abundance, of unity, of creative endeavors, of unlimited possibility. That is the shift we're talking about. And as a means to assist this evolutionary process in human beings, a technology has existed on this planet that we can put into the category of spirituality. The purpose of spirituality is for the evolution out of third dimensional consciousness into fifth dimensional consciousness. And these beings from thousands of years ago through to now, whether they've been teachers such as Buddha and Jesus, or today where we have coaches and more modern day teachers and even scientists, are basically representatives or facilitators of this technology. But the purpose of the technology of spirituality is that shift from third dimensional consciousness into fifth dimensional consciousness, where we are in the embodied state of being a limitless creator in our own unique way, in our completely own unique flavor. And right now we're rubbing up against a threshold where we actually, as a small collective now, have the ability to cross that threshold into fifth dimensional consciousness. And it's not just an openness that we have, but an actual maturity and readiness to actually embody and experience that state of being and integrate that through our entire collective. And basically the means now, you could call it the technology if you want, the means for this shift to take place is through human unity. So in nature, we know that all things are interconnected. You cannot separate one organism from another because they're completely reliant and independent on one another. And what happens in nature is that there is a self-orchestrating mechanism, or a self-evolution mechanism, that allows for this beautifully, gloriously, continuous, harmonious evolution to take place. And that's why, and that's how the universe and what we see on planet Earth, how nature and all the plant and animal life has evolved in such profound and very precise ways. And what happens is, in nature, if we take animals, the foundation of their evolution is through communication. You can take bees or ants or even fish or birds, and they're always in communication with one another, that they're exchanging their experience through to one another, which gets sent out to the whole. And so the intelligence and the learnings and the understandings of one get sent through to the whole, and then that gets sent back to the individual. And it's this self-reproducing mechanism of, I'm doing the infinity sign here, it's the self-reproducing mechanism that causes its own evolution. And so through the technology of spirituality, one of the main flaws is a continuous dependence on the external technology, which is not self-reproducing, it's not self-evolving. And through unity consciousness, not just coming together, but actually through unity-based consciousness, we're an entirely new means of communication, entirely new, not just the way we're used to communicating verbally and having discussion, entirely new. We're actually establishing a means for the natural order of our self-evolution to take place. And so what happens in this is that you don't become one mind, you don't become one individual anymore. You learn as a whole, you evolve as a whole. One experience and perception gets sent in as data into the whole, gets reflected and upgraded as a whole. And like I said before, the individual serves the whole serves the individual, and evolution just skyrockets. So what we're seeing now with artificial intelligence is that the main thing with artificial intelligence is that its speed of processing data is far beyond anything that a human brain can do, basically, or is currently. doing, but the main thing is its speed in which it can transmit and communicate that data to its other selves or to other artificial intelligence. So together, the speed in which they evolve and grow is going to be, you know, eons ahead of human beings. So we're actually being reflected, the growth, the evolution that we're about to go through, and we're being forced into it at the same time, which is through unity. And so when we do this, I mean, it's just going to take us into worlds beyond what we've experienced before. But the speed and the nature of our evolution is going to go into places we haven't even comprehended. To be honest, our journeys to this point have only taken us to the doorway to true possibility and what we're here to experience and endeavor into. But now through the coming together of unity consciousness, it's absolutely magnificent what we have the opportunity and invitation to step into and experience and explore together. And when I say it can only happen through unity, I mean that it can only happen through group consciousness. It's fundamental to nature. It's simply aligning to the natural function of things, and the evolution that will take place through this is beyond. And so, as a side note to this, I want to say that everything from this point forth in the next period of my life relates solely to this, solely helping this shift, assisting this shift from third dimensional into fifth dimensional consciousness, and having that embodied and supported and rippled out through the entire collective, because the new civilization, the new society that's forming is fifth dimensional. It is unity based, it is, you know, love based, and it is coming from an entirely different place. So anything you see me share and do, or how I am, or what I create, or even coming to where I am now in Amsterdam, or what I offer, or these videos, it's only through the data and the downloads I get, assisting this shift in the most direct and effective way possible. So, very exciting times. It's quite cold, actually. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being. I truly love you, and I'm excited for us all to come together as family.